Hello there. Today I really wanted to talk about the importance of self-inquiry on your awakening journey, or helping you to stay in connection with that sense of true nature and your sense of self. So today I want to discuss 3 ways that I use self-inquiry to help me to remind myself of the truth of who I am and to keep returning to my true nature. Firstly, I think it's really important to describe why self-inquiry perhaps is even necessary to begin with. Self-inquiry really helps you to let go of the beliefs you've created around the world that you see. I have found personally for myself that sometimes I have sat in meditation for 30 minutes in the morning. I have accessed that wonderful, beautiful place of awareness and love and peace and happiness. I've come to realize that nothing can hurt the truth of who I am, nothing can upset me or bring me, the true me, down. And then I get up, have breakfast, I go to work or whatever it may be, and very slowly but surely that knowingness just dissipates. I get caught up in experience, I get caught up in illusion and the world of blame. That lovely 30 minutes seems like it has just vanished into thin air. So I think it's really important to remind you frequently that you are not what you're experiencing, and to help you find that lovely alignment again. So there are obviously many different ways that people do this, and I'm going to give you my top 3. The first way that I like to use self-inquiry is really through just a very simple mantra or phrase that I will repeat to myself in moments of anxiety or frustration, or even when there's just lull in the day. The phrase I like to use comes from the sickness prayer in A Course in Miracles. If you don't know what A Course in Miracles is, it's a brilliant metaphysical text that was channeled in the 60s via Helen Schuckman, and it is a beautiful, beautiful piece that has really helped many people to awaken to their true nature. And it is split into 3 parts. So it's got the text, then it's got the workbook, and then it's got the manual for teachers. And the workbook is also really brilliant. It is 365 lessons. So you do a lesson a day for a year. And it helps you every morning to remind yourself of the truth of who you are and to undo the beliefs that you've created. And I would really recommend, if you haven't checked that out, I would so recommend checking it out. I will put a link to A Course in Miracles in the description below. Sickness prayer talks about how you are not a body. So I am not a body, I am free, I am as God created me. And obviously God is interchangeable with the term universe, love, energy, whatever you want to call the unified field, even whatever you want to call it. I personally use the word God because I align with that. Would really recommend coming up with your own little phrase, whatever it may be. You could pluck it from A Course in Miracles. There's just a fountain of knowledge within those pages. Or you could sit in meditation and ask for a sentence or a mantra of some sort to come to you, and you may find that through that meditation a phrase will just arise in your consciousness and you can use that. And I would just recommend something short, sweet, that you can repeat so quickly, 10 seconds or less, but it will just give you that little reminder that this world that you're viewing, all of these problems you're feeling, they're not the truth of who you are. You do not have to be upset or angry by them. You can just surrender to what they are, because you are the awareness of it all. My second favourite form of self-inquiry is that of Rupert Spira. Again, if you haven't heard of Rupert Spira, he's a non-duality teacher who specialises in helping you to find the root of your true nature. He focuses on this path called the direct approach, and it's literally going within. You just go in a straight line within yourself. And his form of self-inquiry is super direct, it's super to the point. You just keep asking yourself, who are you? So let's say you have become quite angry at Mike because he's dinged your car. You're really annoyed with Mike. He's dinged your car. You're going to have to go get that fixed. That's going to be £400 in bodywork repair. Who knows? It's going to cost money. It's going to cost time. You're annoyed with Mike. So you would sit there and you would ask yourself, who is it that is angry at Mike? And you might think, well, it's Mike because Mike dinged my car. But if you sit with it, you'll realize that you felt that anger at other points in your life. Perhaps 3 years ago when your boyfriend broke up with you, you had that same sense of anger, but that was a different circumstance. So it can't be your external circumstances because they always change, but you're the one that is the same and is angry. We go to the next level. Well, who is this self that is angry? And you may say, well, it's my body. It's this collection of bones and muscles and emotions and mind and consciousness. But then where is it within this body? Like, show me an exact location within you where this anger, where this person is that is angry. Because it can't be in your finger, because if your awareness was in your finger, that would be all you were aware of. You're aware of the wind, you're aware of the soil beneath your feet, you're aware of sounds that are coming from 200 meters away, and yet you're not over there. You can't then pinpoint your location. Also, your thoughts and feelings, they are also like external events. They come and go, they don't stay the same. But there is an awareness there that is always staying the same. And the self-inquiry will continue this way. Now, Rupert Spira has written books and books upon this subject matter, as well as a variety of wonderful, wonderful YouTube videos on his channel. So I really recommend checking those out, and I will link that below. My third favourite form of self-inquiry is that of Byron Katie's The Work. Again, this is another beautiful piece of help on a spiritual journey. And this is slightly differs to Rupert's analogy because it makes you focus on the external event a lot more and the thoughts and belief systems you've created, and it helps you to become aware to the fact that you aren't these thoughts that you're thinking. Again, she's got a lot of free resources which I will link in the description below, but if we go back to the analogy of Mike dinging your car, what Byron Katie asks for you to do is to write a judge your neighbour worksheet. And honestly, you really do need to just get as petty as possible you can in this judge your neighbour worksheet. Just write all of your annoyances out with Mike. Do not censor yourself. Once you've answered this worksheet, you then take each sentence of the worksheet and you apply the 4 questions of the work to it, which is it true? Can you absolutely know it's true? How do you feel when you believe this thought? Who would you be if you didn't believe these thoughts? And then you turn it around. So if we use the example of Mike dinging your car, perhaps the first sentence would be, I am angry at Mike for dinging my car. Well, can I know that is true? And perhaps you will initially want to say, yes, I mean, he dinged my car. And now I've got to go spend all of this money to get it fixed, and the time I've got to do it, and this is my brand new car, and look, he's put this horrible dent in it, and I'm so angry at Mike. There was 4 things there that you said that you were angry about. You said you were angry about the money, you were angry about the time, you were angry about the fact that it was a new car and it's dented that beautiful, pristine car that you've got, and that you're angry at Mike. But Mike isn't the cause of all of those 4 problems. There was an anger within you that was there before Mike banged the car. Perhaps it was the fact that you woke up late that morning, but it wasn't necessarily Mike. Mike can't make you angry because the circumstances that arise from Mike's banging the car really has nothing to do with Mike. If you do find yourself struggling to say no to is it true? Can you absolutely know it's true? I really recommend you take some time to just sit with it and allow it to filter through you. My inner reaction to this is it's not true. It can't be true that I'm angry at Mike for dinging my car, because the anger was already there, and it's not all of his fault that I have a problem with spending money and wasting time. That's really got nothing to do with Mike. So then we get to the third question there, which is, well, how do I feel when I believe these thoughts about Mike? And the truth is, I'm angry at Mike. I don't want to be nice to him. I want to punish him for what he's done to my car. These are all resistant energies to what has happened, and it feels me even now, and this is a fake scenario, I can feel this unpleasant experience within my chest and my body that's sort of angry at this, angry at him and annoyed. And that's not peaceful, and that's not loving, and that's resistance. So who would I be if I didn't believe it? The fourth question, well, I would be peaceful, wouldn't I? If I didn't believe Mike had done anything wrong, if I didn't believe I was angry at Mike, well, I wouldn't punish him. I wouldn't be upset with him. I wouldn't tell him anything horrible. I wouldn't be mean. I would be embracing the experience. I would be allowing what has happened to flow through me, and that allowance, that surrender to what has happened is peace. And that peace is your true nature. That's who you are. Your true nature doesn't have judgments. It doesn't have yes or no's, goods or bads. It's just allowing, and that allowing is inherently beautiful and peaceful and happy. Then comes the final part of the work where you do the turnaround statements. So this statement was, I'm angry at Mike for dinging my car. Perhaps one turnaround would be, well, I'm not angry at Mike for dinging my car. And how can I prove that? Well, I'm angry actually because I'm going to have to spend money on this, and perhaps I don't have so much money at the time. I'm angry because I'm going to have to take the morning off work to take my car to the dealership in order to get this bodywork fixed. I'm going to have to waste time. I'm angry really at myself because, you know what, I actually did park a bit too close to Mike last night because I was in a rush to get home and get in the shower or whatever it was. If I'd taken more time and I'd parked further away, then Mike would have had more room to get into his car and wouldn't have dinged mine in the process. And when you put it into that context, you just take all that pressure that you felt, all those beliefs you had about that circumstance away. And the truth of the nature of it just appears, and that truth is inherently peaceful and beautiful. And so her work is so useful at helping you to undo these false beliefs you've created that will still pervade your experience, but you will be able to see them for what they are, just thoughts and just beliefs, and they're not the truth of who you are. So those are my 3 favorite forms of self-inquiry to help me to remind myself of the truth of who I am, to let go of the illusion around me, to feel more happiness and peace and contentment in the present moment, to not get worried and anxious about things that are out of my control and that I cannot help, and to help remind me that everything is happening for me and not to me. I would so recommend, if you have the time, to check out those 3 examples that I have given to you to do further research, and I promise you that it will help you no end on your journey to awakening to your wonderful true nature which lies within all of us. I really bless you, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.